There are moments in life when the natural and the spiritual collide, moments so sacred, so drenched in divine weight, that they shift the very atmosphere around us. This is one of those moments, not a coincidence, not a random occurrence, but a holy intersection of heaven's calendar with your earthly timeline. When God begins to move, He doesn't always announce it with thunder, but the discerning spirit can feel the tremors. Right now, in this very hour, something unseen is being stirred. The heavens are not silent, the angels are not idle. The earth is groaning, and your name, yes, your very name, is being whispered in heavenly places. The Spirit of the Lord is declaring over your life, this is the hour of divine manifestation. Exactly 12 hours from now, the invisible will begin to take form. The delay that made you question, the silence that made you weep, the waiting room that felt endless. It was not a denial, it was divine design. What you thought was hidden was merely incubating. What looked like rejection was redirection. God has been orchestrating something behind the curtain of time, and now the curtain is beginning to lift. The tears you shed in private, the obedience you offered in secret, the sacrifices that nearly broke you, heaven took note. And now, God is about to reward you openly. Chosen one, this is more than a message. It is a prophetic countdown, a holy alarm ringing in the spirit realm. In 12 hours, the realm of faith and the realm of sight will collide, and what was spiritual will become visible. But listen carefully, because before that divine hour strikes, there must be preparation. We cannot treat this as common. We must understand why God speaks with such accuracy and how we are to respond. This isn't the time for spiritual laziness. This is the moment for divine alignment. Cleanse your heart. Shake off bitterness. Refuse to partner with doubt. This is the hour to posture yourself like someone who knows heaven is watching, because it is. God does not move randomly. He moves with precision, and those who are positioned will receive what others only prayed for. The posture of your heart will determine what your hands can hold. Heaven is moving, but are you ready to move with it? Now, before we go deeper, I want you to pause. Only if you know deep in your soul this is your word. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and drop your local time and location in the comments. Let us see where across the world God is about to unlock purpose, destiny, and divine release. And to every single one of you who's giving, sowing, and standing with this message through the pinned comment or super thanks, know this: you are not giving to a personality. You are aligning with a divine assignment. You are not supporting a message. You are sowing into a movement, and heaven will not ignore your sacrifice. So come closer. Let me take you by the hand, step by step, word by word, like a teacher guiding a newborn to walk. Because that's how the Father moves, with tenderness, with intention, with love beyond comprehension. He does not rush us. He reveals truth to us gently, deeply, and purposefully, line upon line, precept upon precept. Here a little, there a little, and in this moment He's revealing to you not just what is coming, but what must be unlocked in you to walk into it. So breathe, listen, align, because in 12 hours the doors will open, the light will shine, and the promise will speak. And when it does, you will never be the same again. What does 12 hours mean spiritually? We often think in terms of clock time, hours, minutes, deadlines. That's chronos, the ticking of seconds on your wall clock. It's the schedule you plan, the goals you set, the routine you follow. But when God speaks of time, He doesn't just speak in chronos. He speaks in kairos, divine timing. Kairos is not just what time is it, but what is this moment for? It's the window of heaven's intention. It's when eternity invades time to fulfill a purpose. When God says 12 hours from now, He is not giving you a countdown like a stopwatch. He is inviting you to step into alignment with a supernatural moment He has prepared for you. The Bible is full of these appointed Kairos moments. In Exodus chapter 12, verse 12, God says, "On that same night I will pass through Egypt," a night that changed everything for Israel. In 2 Kings chapter 7, verse 1, Elisha prophesied, "About this time tomorrow, a sea of flour will sell for a shekel," an impossible economic reversal that happened overnight. In Luke chapter 1, verse 20, the angel tells Zechariah, "My words will come true at their appointed time." These were not vague spiritual hopes. They were God-ordained time frames, windows when faith had to meet action. And now, when the Spirit says 12 hours, it's not metaphor. It's heaven marking your name on a divine calendar. It's God declaring, "This is the hour I want to move. Will you be ready?" Think of it like this. Imagine your favorite cartoon comes on at 6 p.m. If you show up at 6:45 or 7:10, you've already missed it. So what do? You sit down early, you prepare, you watch the clock, because you know something good is about to play. In the same way, God is saying, the episode of your destiny is about to air. Be in position. Don't miss your window because you were spiritually late. Don't dismiss the urgency just because the clock looks ordinary. The next 12 hours are not just time passing, they are time pregnant with possibility. Heaven has set the appointment. Faith is your RSVP. Now it's time to sit expectantly and watch what God will do. Faith is the key that unlocks the door. Hebrews chapter 11 verse 1 declares, "Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen." This is not just a definition, it's a spiritual reality. Faith is substance, meaning it holds weight and presence even before your hands ever touch the outcome. It is evidence, not of what is seen, but of what God has already established in the unseen realm. Faith is like the invisible bridge between your present and God's promise. It doesn't wait to believe until something happens. It believes because God has spoken. That alone is enough proof. Faith doesn't operate by sight. It operates by trust in the character and power of God. Let's make it practical. Imagine you place an online order for something valuable. You don't see it instantly, but the moment you receive a confirmation and tracking number, your attitude shifts. You start preparing for the item's arrival. You clean out a space, maybe even tell others what's coming. You act as if it's already yours because you trust the system that sent you the notice. In the same way, when God says 12 hours, He's not being vague. He's giving you a divine tracking number. It's His way of saying, I've dispatched the answer. It's already in transit. Your job is not to worry about how it'll get there. Your job is to stay ready, clear distractions, build room, and remain expectant. Jesus warned in Revelation chapter 16, verse 15, "Blessed is the one who watches and stays clothed." In other words, don't be caught spiritually asleep when the delivery comes. Stay dressed in faith, stay positioned. When God speaks a word, He expects movement, not passive waiting but active preparation. Expectant faith says, it's already done, I'm just aligning with it. It declares healing before the pain leaves, it praises before the breakthrough manifests, and it walks forward before the door opens. That's the kind of faith heaven honors. Not wishful thinking, not emotional highs, but bold, prepared, obedient faith that treats God's word like a guarantee. Because in the kingdom, it is. Let me tell you the truth. The final 12 hours before your breakthrough are rarely peaceful. They are often the most spiritually intense, the most emotionally draining, and the most mentally demanding. Ask any woman who has ever given birth. She'll tell you that the closer she gets to delivery, the more painful and urgent the contractions become. The body groans, the pressure builds, and everything in her starts shouting, "It's time." In the same way, spiritual labor follows this pattern. When what you've been carrying in faith is about to manifest, the spiritual atmosphere shifts, the pressure increases, distractions multiply, the warfare intensifies. But it's not a sign that you're failing, it's a sign that you're almost there. In these final hours, expect resistance. Expect strange interruptions, like unexpected calls or messages designed to pull you off track. Expect old temptations to resurface, ones you thought you already buried. Expect emotional turbulence, sudden fatigue, or waves of confusion. These aren't coincidences. They are targeted distractions meant to abort your delivery. But don't be alarmed. As 1 Peter chapter 5 verse 8 says, "Be sober, be vigilant, for your adversary the devil walks about like a roaring lion. He only roars when there's something worth stopping. He doesn't fight what's not a threat, so stay awake, stay in prayer, stay praising." These birth pangs are proof that heaven is opening and what God planted in you is about to come forth. Luke chapter 12 verse 35 says, "Be dressed ready for service and keep your lamps burning." This isn't just poetic advice, it's a call to spiritual alertness. Picture a bride who knows her groom is coming in 12 hours. She doesn't waste time scrolling through distractions or doubting whether he'll show up. She gets up and prepares with urgency and joy. She lays out her dress, fixes her hair, calls her bridesmaids, and watches the clock with anticipation. Why? Because she believes the moment she's waited for is near. In the same way, your preparation reveals your expectation. If you truly believe God is about to move in your life, you won't sit still. You'll start getting ready like it's already done. Preparation in faith looks like action. It looks like cleaning your spiritual house, repenting, forgiving, and dropping the emotional baggage that won't fit into your next season. It sounds like speaking words that agree with God's promise and shutting down any speech of fear or doubt. It looks like praising God in advance, dancing and celebrating even before the answer arrives. And it moves. Applying for the job, writing the vision, making the call, taking the bold step forward. James chapter 2 verse 17 reminds us, "Faith without works is dead." In this 12-hour window, God is calling you not to be passive, but to be a partner. Heaven has scheduled something for you. Now it's your turn to act like you believe it. Exactly 12 hours from now, prepare your heart and your eyes, because the shift will begin. You will start to see the confirmation of the very things you've been praying about. A word, a conversation, a divine coincidence will make it clear that heaven has heard you. Expect acceleration. Things that once moved slowly will begin to gain momentum. Doors that stayed shut for months will creak open. Emails will come, calls will happen. The weight you've carried will start to lift, and with it, revelation will flow. God will begin to whisper strategy, clarity, and next steps into your spirit in ways you couldn't hear before. Expect favor, not earned, not forced, but granted. People will extend kindness, opportunities will appear, and things will happen with little to no explanation other than God did it. Watch as restoration begins to breathe into places that felt permanently broken. Relationships, dreams, identity. And don't be surprised when provision starts showing up from unexpected places, financial help, resources, or people moved by God to bless you. Like Elijah in 1 Kings chapter 18 verse 44, you may not see the full storm at first, just a cloud the size of a man's hand. But don't dismiss small beginnings. That cloud is your proof. The rain is coming, the downpour is on the way. There are things that can quietly abort your miracle if you're not watchful. One of the greatest threats is doubtful speech, when your mouth begins to contradict what your faith is believing for. Life and death are in the power of the tongue, and many breakthroughs are lost not because God changed his mind, but because we spoke against what he promised. Then there's bitterness. Unforgiveness poisons your spirit and shuts down the flow of blessings. No matter how justified the hurt feels, holding on to offense is like locking your own door from the inside, and fear, that crippling spirit that causes hesitation and inaction. But the word reminds us, God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, love, and a sound mind. 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7. Fear cannot coexist with faith. Another danger is isolation. When you're on the edge of breakthrough, the enemy will try to pull you away from the very people who can lift your arms in prayer and speak life into your dry places. Don't fall for it. Stay connected to faith-filled voices, to people who remind you of God's promise when your emotions try to forget. You must understand this. The enemy cannot cancel what God has declared over you, but you can delay it through disobedience, distraction, or disbelief. This is not the time to play with doubt or entertain offense. Stay rooted, stay obedient, stay in faith. The miracle is on its way. Don't push it away with your own hands. Let me say this plainly. This is not hype, this is not emotion, and this is not coincidence. This is prophetic timing. God has scheduled something specific for you. He has opened the book of remembrance with your name on the page. He has heard the groans of your spirit, seen the silent tears you've cried in the dark, and measured the weight you've carried without complaining. And now, he declares, "My child, get ready." Exactly 12 hours from now, you will begin to see what I have promised. This is a divine alert, not a vague encouragement. This is heaven marking your hour of visitation. So do not doubt, do not delay, and above all, do not disqualify yourself with shame, fear, or unbelief. Just believe. God is not looking for your perfection. He is looking for your posture, a heart ready, a spirit open, a mouth that aligns with His word. Because the moment faith says yes, the heavens respond. This is your Kairos moment. Don't treat it like common time. What begins in the next 12 hours won't just affect today, it will shift your entire trajectory. Don't miss it by being passive. Engage, believe, move. Final charge, chosen one, get ready. This is your wake-up call. Heaven has released the word. Angels are already in motion. The doors are already creaking open. This is not the time to sit idle or ask for more signs. This is the time to act, to move, to prepare, to praise, to expect, to speak, and to rejoice. Because the next 12 hours are not just a countdown, they are a birthing chamber. The contractions have started, the atmosphere is shifting, and when the hour strikes, you will not just hear the promise, you will see it. So rise up in faith, stand with boldness, lift your head and get in position. Get ready, chosen one, get ready.